spinning on a wooden table.
Yeah,
you know?
but how, there's cameras everywhere. Who's to say that there's not, like, a magnetic strip?
They got the little...
And they just hit it like black 18.
Because every once in a while you see the ball's supposed to go... Ding, 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 ding.
Right.
But every once in a while it goes... Shunk.
Yeah.
It just sticks.
The guy up in the camera booth, he's just looking at all the bets, and he's like, all right.
0-0.
Well,
boom.
Yeah. Nobody bet 0-0? Okay. Well, cool.
I love roulette.
I'm not a big fan of it.
It's my favorite.
It's scary. I'd rather play blackjack or get into a cash game. Texas Hold'em. Tried teaching Tracy Texas Hold'em. She doesn't understand the concept. She doesn't understand the point.
Yeah.
I've tried.
I don't think she'd have the patience for that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Because once you learn the rules, now you got to learn.
How to
Okay,
play
now that
somebody.
you know how to play the game, here's how you play people.
Right.
I don't like that game either.
So, but don't I remember you playing like back in the DPT?
Yeah, but I was just trying to fit in with my friends. Everybody else.
So you're just throwing $20 in, being like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, fuck it, I'll play. And then I'd always lose.
You never took it seriously. You never won.
I never won.
Never.
I was never even at the winners table.
Okay.
Because you'd have so many guys playing that eventually you would consolidate to the final four
table.
people that could fit at a table. No, I never
got there.
And plus, I would. By then, I'd want to cash out. Like, guys, I want to go. We've been at this for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Do you remember that one time? Speaking of the DPT, I hosted one of the parties. We had, I don't know,
that's right.
15, 16 people that came through.
There's quite a few
and
people.
it was like a $50 buy-in. I mean, it was one of the bigger ones because I know that your buddy wanted to kind of fluctuate the cash buy-in. And I got one of the bigger ones, but I decided that the night before in my basement, I wanted to paint my entire basement.
Yeah.
And there's no ventilation down there.
There's people coming over.
So everybody, because I wanted the place to look nice, and I decided to put a fresh coat of paint on the walls and had a couple friends help me out with it. And people were coming over and just being like, like they couldn't breathe. Like I didn't have any fans on. I didn't have any windows open. It was just paint fumes, and you're just sitting there. Like by the time I got knocked out,
and you let people smoke in your house too. So
yeah,
and none of these guys smoke.
Yeah, right.
So you and all your friends are sitting there smoking.
We're sitting in the smoking room,
and it's just like fresh paint, cigarette smoke,
and weed,
yeah,
and spilled beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time I got knocked out, dude, I had like this fucking headache right behind my eyes. It was just like, I gotta get out of here. I can't imagine why I would ever have thought to do that, but anyway, I'm glad that you had a good time in Chicago. Never ridden on a train, or well, your husband hadn't, but never had an Oob. We had popped the Oob cherry for both of them.
Yeah. What about Lyft?
Never used Lyft.
Didn't use
Lyft.
it.
We just did Uber because they had that special going on.
Yeah.
Well, I assume because I was driving, because I'm a registered driver for Uber, so I'm like taking Oobs. I don't. They never sent it to me, but
You never generated any revenue.
So sometimes, I really haven't, and I kept like getting Oobs here. Like there were a couple times where I got an Uber up to the liquor store and then back.
Yeah.
Never get a bill for it. I would never get a bill for any of my Uber.
Oh, because
drives.
you were driving.
I assumed that, and then I got up to Chicago and they had that Jim Beam thing going on, so we didn't have to pay for any of that. So it was nice, but still have yet to get billed from Uber anything more.
Oh,
than
that bill's
$8.
coming.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
It's
Hopefully
gonna be a $500.
Hey, and I've heard about Uber drivers that drive around people that did the Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just drive them around and let them search for fucking those stupid ass Pokemon.
Nothing would make me want to shoot myself in the face more.
Right. Whoa, pull over here.
Not only am I picking up a
Pikachu.
stranger in my car and taking them somewhere,
right?
But the whole reason they're in my car is so I can drive them around town while they look for fake geofences of. So this little dragon pops up on their phone. Oh God!
Yeah.
Did you let your kids play that game?
We tried it once because I thought it would be fun for them, and we could go out and walk around the neighborhood. But it must have been like the first version of it because it was just shitty at best.
Mm-hmm.
It was just not fun. I'm like, I never got it, and the kids were bored of it in like 2 seconds. They were like, they caught one little squirrel thing over in the corner of my kitchen, and they thought that was kind of fun. But then we like went walking around for 30 minutes looking for some other shit to get, and they're like, "Dad, this is stupid."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're right, kids." 8 and 5-year-old, you are absolutely right. Meanwhile, grown people at work, they're going nuts over it. Like, they're just like, "What are you doing after work?" "I'm going to go search for Pokemon. And you want to come?" Fuck, no, I don't.
That's so stupid.
It's the dumbest shit. I mean,
I will say, though, at least it's something for you to be like social. Like, hey, I was going to go home and just
jerk off.
Talk to strangers on my PS3.
Right.
Instead, I could play this dumber video game with you in person.
Right.
So that is kind of...
And we're out and
that is better.
And exercising
and maybe
walking.
While you do that for 45 minutes, you're like, you know what? Let's pop in here at the bar. Let's have a drink.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, two of you are having a couple drinks. Then your hand touches the other hand by mistake. And it's like, hey, I didn't even know I was gay, but here are these feelings. And you find love. So...
Wow. That is definitely a...
Pokemon Go.
That is a very... okay.
Out of all the millions of people playing that game, that had to have happened.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Some confused guy went out with a coworker, and he found himself. He discovered his sexuality.
Now, is that because the game itself
is
gay?
No, but the game presented that opportunity for those two for the one guy to be like, hey, my gaydar's up on you. I'm pretty sure you're gay. I'm going to ask you to go out with me. And the guy's like, yeah, that sounds like fun. And then he turns out he was right about himself, or about him.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, you're right. It had to have happened once. Maybe twice.
At least.
Okay.
And now the guy's on Tinder, and he's ruined his life.
No, not Tinder. Grindr.
Oh, Grindr.
Grindr.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Grindr.
Yep.
Grindr?
It's Tinder for gay people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's... I've never used Tinder, but I imagine from what I hear, it's pretty easy. Just like, hey, do you think I'm hot? I think you're hot. Let's hook up, and it's understood. This is purely a sexual experience we're looking for. We're not looking for a date,
right,
or a girlfriend boyfriend thing.
Right.
We're just hooking up,
right.
And with Grindr, the guys, because men are so sexual and so easy to just be like, no emotion whatsoever,
right? That
it's even grosser for some of those guys, because it's just like you don't even know each other's name.
Yeah,
it's like you just end up having sex and you're like, oh, I'm Tim, by the way. Like,
thanks for coming.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was fun. We should do this again sometime.
But just this,
exactly.
None of that.
Yeah,
none of that other crap. But yeah, Grindr. Yeah, because like guys are just so.
Can you imagine how, if you were gay and you went to a gay bar, I gotta imagine it's pretty easy. Well, I don't know, maybe it's not so easy, but to hook up like without attachments. Because with women, you kind of gotta buy them a drink. You're gonna talk. Get to know each other, and when all you really want to do is have a one night stand,
right?
And unless she's into that right at that moment,
right.
Then
you're pissing away
money.
You're
just pissing away. Whereas most men are up for that.
Right.
So you go to a bar where it's all men, where most of them are up for it. As long as you find them attractive enough, you're good to go.
Like there's a thing like with Tinder. Like I've got a pretty broad, search.
Okay.
As far as age and distance I'm willing to travel.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about like looks.
No. Actually, no.
Can you get like rated on your looks and like I'm looking for only A's?
No, you can't do that.
And you drive it down to C's.
But you're right. Yeah, I mean
that's what they should start doing. Like a meat market.
Like if you get too many left swipes,
yep,
your stock goes down.
Yeah, obviously you're not attractive.
Right, right. But
to the opposite sex.
Yeah. But it's insane. Like, so I have a pretty broad, like, geographic and age-wise of a girl that, I would be looking for. One night, me and Tracy thought it would be fun if we made her a profile pic. And immediately, like, I mean, every dude, like, there were like 300 dudes, like, within 1 mile of her that have already swiped right on her. And meanwhile, I'm standing over here being like, well, is she hot enough to drive 45 minutes for?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's tough.
There's just so many guys on Tinder. There were just tons of them. Like, we never got out from a mile away from where we were. Like, we kept swiping just to see how long it would take to get 2 miles away, 3 miles away. It never happened. There were that many thirsty dudes within 1 mile of our GPS location, and I get like 5 girls, and half of them I have to drive 2 hours for.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, the dick pussy ratio on this app.
That's how many men
skewed.
are willing to do that as opposed to women.
Right.
I can't believe there's that many girls doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Just because it's kind of scary. I mean,
a little bit.
You're going to go hook up with a total stranger?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know.
Well, I mean, it's no different than going out to a bar and trying to hook up with a girl.
Well, at least there you're with other people that you know and they know, and you know,
a little bit safer of an environment.
And then maybe you get to know each other, you exchange a phone number, and you call each other the next day. At least there's a little bit of that rapport going on.
It's just how it's done now.
Yeah, with this app, it's just like, see you in 20.
See you in 20.
Yeah.
Or in my case, see you in 2.5 hours.
I'll be stroking it in the car, so I'm good and ready. Are you grossed out yet?
And some of the pickup lines on Tinder are great. I follow almost all the like Tinder nightmares and stuff, like on like some of the lines that guys have to come up with just to stand out. Are pretty impressive. Anyway, we're coming up on 6, and I know you got to go.
Yeah.
I got to get my kids. You got to go get back to the Cubs game. So thank you guys for listening to the Bill and Joe Show. And Tracy, and what? One last thing?
She's giving you the signal. Let's wrap it up.
All right. All right. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to the Bill and Joe Show. We'll be back next week.
Go Cubs. I said I'm so excited. Go Cubs.
Like I'm a little untrusting when I think that the truth is gonna hurt you. And I don't know why you couldn't just stay